All right. Looks like we're good. Not sure if we're good, but we will.
It's still show up. Right, go here, right?
Yeah, but you got to open in a new window.
New window, okay.
I told you this.
So,
No. So go there. So go back where you were. Open what you had before. So yeah. Go to YouTube.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you go to WAYPN review.
WAYPN review.
Yeah. Now you click on it.
Huh?
Yeah. Click it.
Click it.
There we go.
Okay.
See, we are.
So,
we're all good.
Okay, all good then. All right.
Is there anyone with us?
Whoa.
No, we're all alone.
All by ourselves.
All by ourselves. I'll double check, but we will see, because this one is actually really important.
Yeah.
What?
Why is it important?
What do you mean, why is it important? It's the Tomas one.
Yeah, the Tomas. The Tomas has given us a great starting post. Iskander is here. Okay, hello.
Yes,
hello,
Iskander
welcome.
participated
very good.
in this post.
Okay,
all right.
Good.
So, shall you read out?
Yes. Okay. Where am I? I lost myself. I did.
Well, you'll need to find yourself again.
I found it. Okay. Guys, it always makes me sad when I see how your exquisite work is lost in photo. Because of a lack of focus, bad lighting, I should say lightening, because that's how he spelled it.
Come on.
Distractions in background, etc. Basically, all the problems that could be solved by Lightbox. So, there is how I set up my Lightbox. Yes, it's just a sheet of printer paper, and my desk light brought closer. Indeed, and Iskander has shared with us how you can adjust the brightness.
He's actually got
a video.
Yeah.
Plus, you can do this. No, come on. This.
You said, plus you can do this, you focus on it.
Slide this thing,
Yeah, that's basically.
Slide that thing, and that's what Sunny does. This is the same.
Exactly what I do with all of your photography.
Click. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I do. That's pretty much.
And then you just.
Can do this.
You just take it in and you put a vignette over that, don't
you can do your extra editing on the side if you want, but literally everything that Iskander has showed is all you need to do.
Yeah, so essentially we've shown that video, I don't know how many times, the short we made of how to make a light box.
How to make a light
and
box.
it's very similar to this. And even though this is like a very basic post, I think it's one of the most important ones, but also take a look at his light. We need to get one of those.
Yeah,
the ones with the jewel thingies.
Yeah, I would like. For where? Upstairs or down here? Cause
you can't see the video?
Can't see video.
Does the video not show? Oh, okay. Yeah, no, because the video...
chat is blocking the
video.
One
sec.
Right.
One sec. I will...
You gotta open the video in a
new
tab.
No. Shh. Look, I must do this.
Oy.
See, it was covered by the chat. So here we go. We'll go again. Alright, so here we go.
No, come on. This.
I see.
See?
Slide this thing,
Yeah.
Slide that thing in.
Use it a bit.
Wonderful.
He sounds a lot like Steven.
Then you click.
Does he? Yeah, the accent is quite similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's essentially what you can do, guys. It's really, really not that hard. Like, look, I get Sunny to do the pictures because she's much better at it than me. But honestly, like, when I did the photos without what Iskander showed, even without that editing bit, it makes the world of difference just having a neutral background.
Yeah, and I'm just really glad that a member has made a post about this rather than us. Because it seems nobody listens when we say.
Yes, no, because I think that he's right. He's 100% right, because it feels very frustrating for us, especially because we're like, all right, I'd love to comment on your thing, but like nobody wants to say, look, your photography skills are terrible and we can't see a damn thing. And it makes us feel bad, to be honest. But yeah, so thank you so much for that, Iskander.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that, Tomas. You know, it was a massive help. Next up, we have a meme. Can you read out the meme?
It is a Larry.
It is a Larry.
Meme. Oi, oi, oi. Dreadnought of the lake. What is your wisdom? Even if you think your models are not as good as someone else's, that doesn't mean you can't be proud of what you created.
100%.
Yes.
100%.
Lake Dreadnought is correct.
Yep.
I will also do the love heart of love.
Well, like I think a lot of people have come on here and they've been like, oh, I'm not as good as him, and like,
It's
how
true.
long?
It's
How long have I
true.
been working on that Nurgle guy? It feels like I've been working on it forever.
Yeah, same with my Hivestorm Vespids. Should have been done by now.
Yeah, and like, just little things pop up. But yes, next up we've got Kit Strong.
Kit. Friday fun. A quick paint job on one of my minis from My Little Scythes. My Little Scythes?
That must be the game.
Like My Little Ponies, but My Little Scythes instead? That's cute.
I guess.
Might still add a few highlights, but might just leave it as is. This kind of looks like Monkey God or something.
Yeah, but like, I just look at this bit here. I don't know if that's an intentional line or not.
I think
like, it looks.
it's a bit of a strange mold line, I think.
I'm not sure because it makes it look like a skull.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like the little flare underneath. I like the big eyes. I think they look good. But I think Iskander is much more the guy when it comes to chibis. Like, I feel like I've got a decent hang on a variety of styles, but chibi is one that I don't do so well. I like how he's done the edge black lining here. I think that really helps out with
Define
it. He's got a slight shadow here, which, you know, if you didn't pay attention, you wouldn't notice, but it does help frame
Yeah.
the face.
Seems Iskandar knows this game. Yep, My Little Scythe is a version for the young ones.
Ah, I see.
Definitely looks to be that way. I'd love to paint some of these.
Well, let's try and paint some things that we've got to paint already.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright, so next up we have...
J. Ayers. I forgot all about posting this. Definitely decided chaos is my thing over mankind in the 40k world. So, who is this guy?
So, I'm guessing these are from the Leviathan box set. So it looks solid, but it really does need some definition. The face is a bit melty.
Yeah, can we zoom into that? Is that like was he trying to go for like clear goggles over the top, or?
I'm not sure what's going on here. I think he's put like a gloss over it or something.
Right.
Cause yeah.
It's made the face look crinkly for some reason.
Yeah, I think the face needs a lot of work. Like the rest of the panel lines, it is just block work. Block work can be fine. I think that the Tyrannid comes in a lot better than the other one. But like the weirdest thing I see is how we've got, take a look at the edge highlights here, right? Those edge highlights are very crisp and clean, and they look really nice.
Very lovely.
And then we look at the rest of it, and it's quite mottled.
Oh.
You know?
Is it because of the contrast pooling and stuff?
I would say so.
Right. So maybe a little bit of base paint touch-up just to clean things a bit, make it a bit more smooth.
Also, your basing needs work on both of them, because if we can see the black underneath, like, this is not a good sign. So that's one of the things that you have to do.
Ah, Warren! Warren, very good.
You're awake on time. Would you like to join us?
Would you like to join? If you join, you get a special present.
What? Why do you say this?
Yes.
What presents do we have?
I have present.
What's the present?
You don't get to know until it come on.
I
If
see.
you come on, you get the present. No come on, no present. That's the deal of the game.
Okay, all right. Should we move on to the next?
We shall move on.
It's a short one, Warren. There's only 20 or so instead of the usual 50 we have to get through. I'm not even joking though. It's a short one.
Mm.
All right, so here we go. We have Lance Davenport.
And he already has my vote because it's Egyptian.
Yes, of course. You don't
Ah!
actually care about the quality of
He
things.
has come on. Who is it? It's a Warren. It's a Warren. Okay, I give you special present now.
I'm gonna
Let me just.
I'm gonna pause the music and turn up the audio so that people will be able to hear him once he starts speaking.
Okay. He's muted himself currently.
Yes. Are you going to give him the other one?
This one.
Yes.
But this is for stream.
Oh.
You get what I mean?
I see.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, you with us? You were with us?
I am.
Yay!
Alright.
Hooray! Here is present, I will say.
Yes. All right. So Sunny has created something, and she
Yes.
has not actually added you because she doesn't know how the add
Oh,
function
shoot.
works.
Sorry. I
There you
was
go.
not paying attention.
You've
Okay.
gotten
You've got the special Larry token.
Shall we
Hooray!
open that one up so that people can
Yes.
see what
I have made 2 others, but that's a surprise for another.
So this is the special award.
Special award for anyone brave enough to come on to the show. You get to be the Larry.
All
The
right.
legendary Larry. Okay, I read Lance's post now.
All right.
I've been busy with the Temple Zealots, so I thought the setting I built some time back was fitting. All foam construction from scratch. Oh, wow.
Nice.
I think that now, with more experience, I could do better.
Well, all right.
Well,
So
Oren, go ahead.
yeah.
All I have is audio. I don't have video feed on.
Oh, okay. Give me a second. So
Oh,
I'll do
okay.
that. So
Screen share.
yeah. I got to do the screen share on the thingy.
Go press.
Yeah, just give me.
You always look up there, but it's down there.
So I got to share OBS, don't I?
I believe so.
Yeah, there we go.
Correct?
Can you get
Okay.
the OBS now? On the
Within the chat there should be a what is this? Live, like watch stream button.
I'm pushing it. Oh, there we go.
You can
It
hear
makes
him
me
like
look a fool.
okay, because like pop of the screen, and I'm like yes. Technology betrays you once again.
Oh man, technology betrays us
All the time. Anyhow, all right, Larry, tell us what are your thoughts?
I'm trying to. Okay, so it's a little like diorama scene, like a
Yeah.
like a worship.
Yes.
Okay. It looks really neat. I think maybe could use a little more contrast in some areas. I guess the closer you get, the more defined everything does look. From a distance, though, it all kind of blurs a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But up close, it looks really good, actually.
Well, one of the things I thought was really good was the fact that he's just made this out of foam. Like,
oh wow,
cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Scratch built foam terrain.
So like this.
Oh wow.
This bit I'm not as impressed by, but the actual beetle with the wings, I think is super impressive. Like, I know that, making this sort of stuff, it takes a bit of time, but that, like, I literally don't know how he made all that. I mean, this is a doodad, what are these things called?
Like a bead of some sort?
Yeah, some sort of bead. And,
Okay.
but I literally don't know how he
done
did
the
it.
Wings.
Yeah. So, like, when somebody makes something and I've just got no idea how they did it, like, top marks. So that's
For sure.
That's it for me. Well, Sonny, do you want to add anything?
I guess I would say similar thing to Warren in the sense that perhaps it is lacking a bit of depth, but Lance is always doing tabletop level. He's looking to do tabletop, quick and easy, and
But this is an old piece of his, so
it
he
an old
reckons
piece?
yeah, he says he reckons he could do it better with experience now.
Oh yeah, perhaps.
You know what?
Perhaps.
Why not give it a go, Warren? Like, if you think you can do better than this, I think this is pretty dang good.
Lance, honey, Lance.
What-
Lance is the one who made this.
What did I say? Did I say
You
Larry?
said Warren. You said
Okay.
Warren.
Well,
Oh,
it's
now
all
I
right.
have to make a Warren token. Come
No,
on.
no,
man.
no. He can just be Larry.
He could
alright?
just be Larry. Okay.
Everyone can be Larry.
Okay. Take note, people. Another mix-up has happened.
Yes. All right.
All right.
So we will move on to our next one, which is
Mr.
Connor.
Can't believe I spent 6 hours on this one guy. Practice for the Chaos Lord. Well,
Oof. Once again, I think Tomas must be heard because, wow, it is hard to see this guy some of the time, especially with the background. I don't know about you guys, but I'm having real difficulty with some of it.
yeah, yeah.
So I'll throw to you, Warren, and give us your thoughts, and I'll stick to this one picture and see if that helps.
So I agree with the whole, taking better pictures for making it easier to see thing.
Mm.
But also, yeah, sometimes it's kind of like, you're in the middle of a whip. You just
Yeah.
want to snap a few quick pictures. And so I do get that. That being said, there is a lot going on in the backgrounds and there's a lot of noise. So
Yeah.
this is one of those situations where putting a piece of paper behind there, just even a little something would help draw more attention to the piece a lot. That said, the piece looks really cool. Some interesting use of colors. You don't see a lot of black and white stuff like that, and
I think it's
I think it
meant
looks
to
really
be.
neat.
I think it's meant to be a son of Malal. You know, that black and white color scheme. You know, the chapter The Sons of Malal.
Okay.
So I think like that's he's supposed to be the fifth chaos god, but his canonicity is a bit up in the air because legally he might be actually owned by the artist rather than GW, and there's a whole lot of nonsense with that. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so Sunny, do you want to give your thoughts?
I would say the only thing I would improve on is the bone areas. Like that needs more depth. I think like a sepia wash of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the white okay, maybe this is the flash photography that's making it look too white. But I think it could use some shadowing with the soul black gray just to bring out some depth.
Really, Connor, what I would say is please take another series of pictures of this guy because like I don't feel confident commenting on the guy because I do agree with Sunny that the bone needs more depth, but like look, you put a lot of work into this guy, so put those extra 5 minutes into taking the pictures because like that's how and when you're judged.
Mm-mm.
Next up we have more from Kit Strong.
Ah, nice. Working on another My Little Scythe character, so this is another warrior monkey fella.
Yeah, so we've got is this one? I thought that one was meant to be a rabbit.
No, it is a monkey.
No, the one on the left was meant to be a rabbit.
Oh, no, it's definitely a monkey.
Are they both monkeys?
They're both monkeys.
Okay, well, Warren, enough monkeying about, and let's hear your answer.
I like them. I think they're really cool. I'm a big fan of chibi style stuff, and I think the direction he's taking the paint jobs really fit the chibi style. So I don't have anything to say, but good compliments, I guess. They look really good. it's one of those things where even if the style fits, if you want to, there's always, you could push shadows higher or lower. You could push highlights higher,
Yeah.
but it doesn't really look like that's the style he's going for with high contrast. So I think what he has for the subject matter really fits and looks really well done.
Yeah, very cartoony.
Yeah.
I do feel like some part seems to be splodgy, like
Yeah,
the
around the
eye.
eyes. Around the eyes seem to be splodgy.
And I see that line coming across the nose, the one that you pointed out across the head on the other one.
Yeah, I wonder what
I
that
don't
is.
know
Is it a
what.
mold line
Yeah,
or
that's the
something?
thing.
Or
I'm a bit
I'm not sure.
confused.
But we will move on. And next up.
Ah, 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 ah.
Oh, you've got to read
It's
out
a
your ones.
Larry post. Okay.
All right, you want to read out your one and then we'll take a look at it?
All right. Still not motivated for real work for real projects. So I'm messing with these guys a bit more.
I think a lot of people will be upset with the fact that this isn't a real project.
Yeah,
but for
like-
most people, they'd be like, oh, okay, I'm just trash then. Okay. Because what I really liked was when you had that glow here, I was like, oh, that's a bit intense. But once you actually did everything up over here, I was like, oh man, that's so much, like, that's so much smarter because you don't have to do the work with the OSL. I really liked that bit. Also, do they need to have this many buttons and lights and doodads?
They gotta be
Dear Lord, no.
extra blinky.
Yeah, no, because I looked at that and I was just like,
So, Warren, I just gotta ask. So, the pink guy, were you trying to go for Emperor's Children, or did you just like these colors and you just put them together?
Yeah, I just grabbed a handful of guys and then grabbed a handful of colors as, main colors and went from there.
Right. Okay. Cool. Because they look a lot like Emperor's Children.
I guess, yeah.
The chaos
with,
one. The chaos one.
Well, with that color scheme, but I just think it looks really,
Really
nice.
Yeah. I love the depth.
I like this guy
Yeah.
better than this guy because he's got like a lot of volume to him.
Yeah. Like, I love this. The way that you've done the shadow is still. I don't know how you did it. Maybe it's still like a black shadow, but
Is
it's
this
overlaid
a
with the
zenithal?
pink
And you just
Probably.
use the zenithal?
airbrush.
So it's a mix. I did Zenithal and then I also went in after the Zenithal, after the pink, I went in with some
Spray of the blue.
purple.
Oh, okay.
Um
Is this purple or is it blue?
It does look a bit.
yeah,
on the
that's
purple
actually a purple.
Oh, okay,
It's actually
interesting.
it's actually a purple.
It looks blue to me.
I wasn't expecting it to work out that way, but it did. So I was like, you know what? That works. So yeah, I just reinforced all the shadows with some strong purple and
Oh, okay, cool.
help enforce the Zenithal. So
I'm using purple shadows with the Nurgle guy, so we will be able to talk about that. But see,
Penguin is here. Penguin, sneaky.
yes,
Watching
calm.
at the office.
So we will focus on the person who's with us.
Sorry.
So I think that try not to destroy things if you
Sorry.
could, please.
You can check it off your list.
Yes, you can check it off your list. So, I really like the way that you've done the cloth on this, but I
Yeah.
feel like there's no volume on this. Like, you just haven't gotten to that yet.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But, like, the cloth is coming up so
I
nicely.
just love looking at the. This one. You said you were trying to go for like an explosion kind of lighting, right? Like there's like
Mhm.
something blown up on the side. But when I looked at it right off the bat, it gave me like the sun is rising type of lighting effect.
Well, I guess both would be the same. Like, it'll all depend, like, if once he's part of a diorama or whatever, there's an explosion here, it will look like that.
Yeah.
But if there's, like a sort of sunlit backdrop, it would look like that.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I think
Okay. Okay.
once you paint it up, I think it'll
Yeah,
become
no,
more
because it will
obvious.
be contextual.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
I
For sure.
don't know what happened with the white here, my dude. Like this, what's going on with the white?
So the white on the backpack and the arms hasn't been touched at all, so that's why that looks so rough and ugly.
Yeah.
And then the white on the rest of the body, um, it's none of it's white. It's all just grays and ivories. Um, but I haven't done any white stuff really. So I was just kind of messing around with playing with getting a white look without actually using white. So
Yeah.
just kind of messing around.
Well, yeah, no, because the reason I ask is it's so weird going through these guys because like what we see here, this guy almost looks as good as your first guy here, right? He's not. I don't think he's quite finished yet, but he's pretty close. I'm guessing.
Hmm.
So I just want to take a look through and just it looks a bit schizophrenic because we go like, oh yeah, this looks really nice, and then it's like, oh yeah, the tabard's here, and then you're like, well, what happened to the armor? And then like finally you're down to this guy, and you're like, what?
So that guy is also completely hand brushed, and most of it is actually stippling or sponging,
Ah, so you're
whereas
trying
all the other
different new
guys are
techniques.
mostly
Okay, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, and like that kind of explanation is really good because I think like some people would just look at this and then go back to this guy and they'd just be like, my guy, what is happening?
What happened to your primer or something?
Yeah. But
Drinking pain.
all right, we'll move on to the next one.
Yeah.
And we've got Kit Strong again.
Oh wow. A bit of practice on a botched bust, mainly working on the leather apron.
Yeah,
Why is it botched?
look right here. See this line right here?
So is this a 3D print?
I do believe it's 3D prints.
But it's so incredibly smooth, even with that line.
In some places, but look how some of those other places come up. But we'll throw to Warren.
I feel I'm on having 3D prints that aren't quite perfect as just practice pieces. I have boxes of those. Anyway, so the kit looks really cool. It's a really nice sculpt, and I think for just being a practice on a leather practice, I think the leather looks really nice so far. Since she is a smith, the leather I think would be pretty worn. I think it could use a little bit more distress in it to show that it's been used and used and used and used.
Mm-hmm.
But I think so far it's a really solid, it's a really good leather color.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I'm 100% with
Yeah.
that. But so I'll share a bit of a conversation that I had with a local store owner. So I sent a message because I got some resin of him. I said, so first print, absolute disaster. Nothing worked. Prints 2 through 6, absolutely perfect. Everything is fantastic. Settings changed, 0. And then he's like, you know that weird cat bug creature, but why though?
Yeah.
And he's like, that's how I feel about 3D printing. Like I feel like when there's all those people who goes, oh, 3D printer go burr. I'm like, dude, it's a hobby in of itself. 3D printing. It frustrates me sometimes.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, so don't worry that you had a bad print. That's for sure. All right, so next up. All right, would you like to read out for Joseph Merlin, and I will go through the pictures as you do.
I've started work on the 7 starter models for Frosthaven. The magenta guys and bird lady are all finished except their bases, and club guy needs his metallics doing still. I'll base them all at the end. The sculpts aren't great, which is a little freeing. What does that mean?
Because he's saying that since the sculpts aren't good, he doesn't have to worry as much.
Yeah, okay. I can be lazy and not care on models that aren't worth the effort, which lets me work faster and not care if something isn't quite right. With that in mind, I hope to have them all varnished next weekend if nothing else goes wrong.
Well, yeah, all right. Well, Warren, your thoughts?
Sorry, it's causing chaos in my house.
Yeah, it's all good. You know, it's we try and minimize chaos and have the one non-chaotic room. That's what we've got, the one non-chaotic room. And you see how much chaos there is in each of our streams, so yeah.
Okay. Ooh, I really like these. I like the blue glowing face and all the red. That looks really cool.
Mm.
Excuse me. So yeah, I like the red. I like the tone of the red used, but I would like to see a little more contrast since there is so much red going on. The red does get a little
Overpowering,
boring. Yeah, I guess
it's
overpowering is a better
lost.
word.
I think once the base is done, it'll be very different. So look, I looked at this and I looked at those and these guys, and the thought I had to myself was like, you know what? He's right. I don't think that the sculpts are very strong at all.
I think the face looks completely munted on the lady.
Is it a lady?
I think it's a lady.
Yeah, I think that's a lady.
Yeah, it's like her features are completely lost, but I think that's just a sculpt and not his painting.
I think this is one of those, you know, why we like Boob Armor episode, because I looked at this and I did not determine any sex or gender at all. I just looked at it and I'm just like, wow, that is not a good sculpt. That was my thought. Not either one, just sculpt bad. But yeah, I think I'm 100% with him. Like, if you've got a bad sculpt, don't send yourself into a spiral. I think that this face came up good, and like I look at this face over here, right? And I'm like, ew, what is that? I turned into a valley girl.
Is it because it's that one line of blue just going down the center of the face?
I think it's because like he tried to add that like red to get the pattern and all of that sort of thing. But I think it's more the fact that it's just, I don't think these are good sculpts. And with that one note, I'm going to move on so that we don't spend our whole time there. So next up...
Oh, it's Iskandar. But he's currently doing prayers. Should we skip and come back, or?
Sure. Give us a message, Iskander, when you're back. So I'll type in the comments when back at. See, no, Iskander. Please let us know. But it really shows the difference between a soft sculpt and a bad sculpt, because this is very soft and that's very different. Oh, okay. All right. So after that, we've got someone who doesn't love us. Would you like to read from someone? Oh, scroll up. Is there?
Oh, I got it.
Yeah. No love.
No love.
All right.
Whip of the Viscount. Sorry, Viscount de Falte, I guess. From the new Shades of Moonreach faction for Moonstone the game from Goblin King Games. The unicorn is mostly done now, barring a wee tweak here and there, so it's on to the Viscount himself. Unicorn was a really fun one to paint, although all his hair did take a while. Lovely sculpt as ever. Oh, it's a zombie unicorn.
Well, I guess we'll throw to you, Warren. What do you think?
I love that zombie unicorn. That thing is painted freaking so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The muscle volumes, the lighting in the hair, I guess the mane, um, the eye, the mouth, the teeth, the leather riding saddle,
Yeah.
all done so well. Um, if I were to say something besides praise for the unicorn, I would say maybe a little bit more purples or blues even in the shadows of the skin to kind of
Mm-hmm.
dead it out a little bit more, because right now it doesn't necessarily look like dead flesh so much as it just looks like green flesh.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
Oh,
following
fair
what you're
enough.
saying. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But other than that, and I feel like that's such a minor gripe. Other than that, it looks beautiful, and I can't wait to see it finished.
Oh,
Yeah, no. Genuine Vision / Steven does amazing work every time. And every time I see his work, it's just like, oh, okay. I'm a failure as a human being. It's okay.
Funny. But I'm glad you brought that up because I don't think I would have thought of to point that out. Because
Yeah.
most time we see like the high level painters, they do something and we're just like, okay, but what is there to improve? How,
Yeah.
what, where?
Yeah. And if somebody can actually give proper feedback, that's really good because that's what this is all about.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that was good feedback.
That's a
but
good idea.
the distressed leather, you're not wrong. It looks so nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's move on to our next one.
We got cyan.
Yep, Cyan Williams.
Yeah. Some progress on my Xenonids, adding Martian iron earth to keep some of the host elements for the model, similar to the egg sac flesh from the Alien series. This was the suggested after a lot of question on Reddit. Pre-applied a matte varnish so the stuff stick and stay stuck good.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it will look interesting, but I think at the moment, you know, we've got no idea how it will turn out until we sort of see it in action.
Yeah, so this is a technical paint that he's decided to use to base coat his oh, okay, to create like sort of a
Texture. Yeah.
crackle texture.
So I
Ah.
honestly don't think that the matte varnish was the way to go with it. I would have actually done down like a black prime and then applied this over the top of
So
that.
that the cracks become more pronounced.
No, just so that like I don't see what the matte varnish does over just doing a prime and then doing that. Have you done anything like this, Warren?
Kinda. And that diorama I did where the robot is broken down and the
That's
little
what I thought
girl
you
is
were going to
bringing
bring
it
up.
back to life.
Yeah.
I used some texture stuff in that. So
Did you
um,
pre-prime and then apply your texture, or did you do what Cian's doing here?
oh, I never do anything without priming first.
Yeah, I think that
I'm not saying that because I think that that's the right way or the best way. That's just my habit
yeah,
more than anything.
it's just I've done Earth before, and I just think it's always the way to go. So
okay. I just thought he might have used a grey prime.
no, he like he said in his post, because I listen to what you say when you read out. They said like a matte prime or something. Sorry, matte varnish. Yeah.
I did a matte. Pre-applied a matte varnish.
So I think.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then you just should have primed.
Yeah,
That's the case. Yeah.
All right, so we'll move on. This one, oh, it's actually us before that. Did you get to see this one? Did you get to see this one, Warren?
I started that, but then something at work got took over my time, so I wasn't able to finish.
It's all good. I will give you the long and the short of it, and behold your just keep your surprise. just keep it bottled down for a second. But we liked the sculpts, and we didn't like the rules as much. The
Okay.
the painters have painter sort of opinions. All right, so I'll read it out. It's Talk Tuesday. # Talk Tuesday. So we got the Hivestorm Killbox and our first impressions of it. In short, we liked the kits. We were disappointed with the lack of co-op rules, and we thought the terrain looks fine. So painters have painter opinions. But what about you on Friday? You want to come on and do a review with us? Well, someone did. Someone did. Anyone can come on and have a talk with us. So we can set a time and have set a time. Sorry, we can set a time. Have a decent mic and have the time to come on. So in the meantime, keep those brushes wet. I think we already saw Cian's one. What's happening here?
Is it an update?
I'm not sure.
Cause yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so 14 hours later and the outcome is worth it. Apologies, some photos are naff. Yeah, so it's an up.
Okay, so I'll see.
Trying to see how the crackle turned out after applying.
Oh, okay, yep. So he just applied it, and now he's seeing how it's come out. So it looks like the cracks have come up on the horn a bit. I think in some areas it's come up, in others not as much. So taking a look on the hoof and on the leg parts, it doesn't seem to have come up as much. Let's see how his scythe looks. So his scythe here's come up a bit. Yeah, crackle paint is pretty notorious for being hard to work with. Okay, so on here it's come up pretty nice on the back of the Von Ryan's Leaper. Let's see. Oh, well, no, on one segment of the back, but yeah. So it's good to see the update, but yeah. So it's interesting. We'll see how it progresses.
But I do think this is a very interesting concept that Navi has pointed out.
Okay, what's Navi said?
She's said that never once thought of using technical paints on the minis themselves other than for basing. I would like to ask if there are any risks of paint chipping, or is it bonded well enough with the primer to the point that it isn't really much of an
that's
issue.
what I was thinking about too.
Yeah, Cian basically said I explained this in detail in my previous post. But I feel that it is interesting because I also would not have thought to use the crackle paint on the model, and it's a very cool and interesting concept. I think it gives it a bit more of a dragon-esque look.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
We'll move on. So this was for Whip Wednesday was just you, and you were painting up some of the things, and we had a few people on.
Yeah. Ducky say, thank you. I'm not at school today due to having to go for x-ray, so Penguin said I should check out the stream.
Sounds good. All right, so next up we've got Justin Taylor, and this was really interesting. So would you like to read out? And I'm going to go.
That's Justin Gray that I'm thinking. Like, Taylor? Yeah, okay. A couple of weeks ago, I painted this Angron for a 12-hour painting challenge with my local painting group. I had an absolute blast painting him. Yeah.
Well,
look at all that teeth.
All right, Warren, your thoughts?
So initially, it looks like the skin is a little on the pink side.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
but,
I agree.
I feel like that kind of goes with Corn lore. All the red armor and hatred, and maybe he's just always red hot mad, so that's why he leans a little bit more on the pink side. So I wouldn't normally think that the so heavily pink works, but I feel like in this situation for this character, it really does. I think the rest of the work looks really, really good. Is the chain and the like a collar. Is that NMM or is that just regular metallics?
I think it's regular metallics. But
Either way, though, it's really good.
it does.
I really like it. If that's just regular metallics, he did a really good job on applying them.
Yeah, with the textures and so on. Yeah, go on.
Um, that was about it. I mean, the bones look really good. The I would say if anything, I would touch up personally. Maybe do a little refining in the face because it looks a little lifeless almost.
Yeah.
But I feel like other than tweaking the face a little bit, I think it looks really well done.
So the only thing that I would say is with all of the pink, I feel like the eye, so not so much on this side, but when we go to this side, the eye gets lost in the pink a bit. So when we take a look at the full face, we see how that gets lost a bit. I think rather than going for, I think that he added some of the pink to the white to sort of have it blend a bit. But I think rather than doing that, try for a off-white. Do you know Scale 75's Ivory and how bright it is?
I've never used Scale 75.
Okay. So like Screaming. Oh, what's it? Screaming Skull, I think. The one that's brighter than a Sharpty Bone.
Wraithbone, isn't
Okay.
it? Oh, is it Wraithbone?
No, not Wraithbone. So I feel like that kind of ivory, like a really, really bright ivory, what might have been a bit better because these feel like they're white, and then he's used, for example, a white ink or something to do the white dots.
Because it to me it actually looks like the eyes look bloodshot a bit.
Yeah,
with the
that's what I'm
pink,
saying.
which
Yeah,
I think it's fitting, but it also, like you said, gets lost in the pink of the skin.
yeah.
I think it needs more definition. Maybe around the eyes, like add a bit more shadowing. He definitely needs, I think, more definition in the face, like Warren said. Like the wrinkles could be brought out more. There's a bit of lacking of depth in the face. I think the inside of the mouth also could be darkened a fair bit more.
Well, there's one thing that I would like to know is what was sort of the challenge? Because usually these painting sessions have some sort of challenge around them. It's a 12-hour painting challenge, right? And I wonder if he wasn't allowed to use skin tones. And like,
well, I mean, you've got the bone. The bone can be also a skin tone color.
Yes, but see, you're a traditional artist and you have a lot more capability when it comes to color mixing.
I don't know. I disagree. Just because, like, if you are using, you can make the bone.
Yes, of course you disagree because you've used, miniature paints to like get skin tones. But do you remember when I didn't have a skin tone with the Golden series?
Yeah.
I just couldn't quite make it.
Get it right.
So that might have...
mixing is an art itself.
Yeah, it is. And it's one of the reasons why we really recommend it as like a skill to learn. All right, well, absolutely. Let's move on and go a little backwards to Iskander's post.
Great. So we'll go back to post.
All right, so Warren, would you like to give your feedback for Iskander's post because he is back now?
Well, as a lifelong Dragon Ball fan, I love this. I think it's pretty well executed. There are like the highlights in Bulma's hair. It's kind of odd how the highlights just go about halfway up and stop.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
That probably is the biggest standout issue with the whole piece is just the highlights in her hair. Just how starkly they stop. It really stands out. It looks almost as if he was painting the sculpted detail and then the sculpted detail stopped, so he stopped the painting. I would say, as just a friendly suggestion, if the detail is in fact not sculpted, I would go back and I would continue those lines as if the detail was sculpted on. Just make it look like it's there. And that will, in my opinion, improve the look of the piece as a whole, but Bulma especially a ton. Every angle that you look at the picture, you see her head, and every angle, the highlights just abruptly stop. So,
I'd agree with that. I'd say the only other thing which was really stand out for me was the mold line.
Yeah, I was gonna point that out too.
Because the mold line is just it's so prominent. Like, I look at this, right, and I'm like, oh, this is a great angle and blah blah blah, and then like it just sticks out like a pair of dog's balls.
Yeah, because like he's done such a great job of keeping everything so smooth.
Yeah,
that anime feel, and then that mold line sort of just
ruins it. Yeah.
I also find it quite interesting that he's gone for a golden bathtub.
That might have something to do with the anime itself because it's DBZ.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's gonna say, right, noted, I'll have to see more references on her hair. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think other than that, everything else was executed.
Yeah,
well.
I think I'd pretty much agree with everything that you said. I think that the way he did the bathwater was really good, but I feel like Goku's eyes are a bit wonky here, and
yeah, the lining isn't perfect.
But like on Bulma, it's absolutely perfect. So like. It's one of those things where I don't know if you've done a big clean before guests are over, but like the more you clean one area, the more the other spots become noticeably unclean. Yeah, and like that's what I feel like with this, because Bulma's eyes there are perfect, but and so since they're so perfect, like, you don't notice on this angle, you don't notice on most of the angles, but when you get to here and you got the straight on, you just notice that tiny deviation. And it sucks because, like, I think he's done a really good job with everything else, and like it's just part of the game, and like I feel like we wouldn't be giving good proper feedback if we didn't mention it.
Yeah.
All right.
So
yeah, go.
Real quick, just as I don't know how he did the lining, if he used a brush or not, but if you did use a brush and you want to try to do something to make your life a little bit easier, you could use the felt tip micron pens, and those will black line things just perfect. And you can get those down to like a 0.005 tip, so super thin.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let us move on.
All right.
To Paul Inman.
Is it? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I forgot that we went back.
Yeah.
Just up it. This Athos, right? Athos. And honestly, I feel a bit disappointed with this one. I think mostly due to the quality of the photo. I wasn't really sure whether to share this one, as I am not hugely happy with the way this has turned. The colors seem quite flat, and there's a few areas that look a bit glossy and are reflecting a significant amount of light. This is due to a change of varnish. I was previously using matte varnish, which is very good, but also very expensive and also a little difficult to obtain, especially with my work taking me away through the week, making mail order a bit of a pain. This was done using Colorforge matte varnish, which I can pop to my local hobby store and buy off the shelf. It isn't as matte as it claims, and It's actually got a stain sheen to it. I wouldn't advise against this brand for gaming pieces. It's absolutely fine. Just take your pictures before you varnish it.
I have no idea how or why, but apparently we that turned into a clip for some reason.
Maybe we accidentally pressed something?
Probably. All right, so Warren, your thoughts?
Well, he obviously already addressed the shiny or varnish, so I won't mention that. I think that for just a tabletop gaming piece, I think he nailed it. All the bits are discernible, all the details are painted. So I mean, I guess from there, all you could really say is, do things to bump up the contrast. Add a little bit more into shadows and whatnot. But other than that, I feel like for what it is and what he was going for, I think he got exactly what he wanted. Other than the varnish.
Yeah, no, like, I look at it and it's fine. Like, maybe just go over it with a matte varnish then, I guess.
Do you think he was facing the same issue that you did one time when you didn't mix the varnish properly
Oh,
enough?
yeah, maybe.
And then it split.
Maybe.
And then you
Yeah,
got gloss effect.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
that could be
Yeah,
it.
all you gotta do if your matte varnish is turning out glossy, you just gotta shake the heck out of it. We used the Vortex mixer, we used hand shake as well. So it just gotta shake it real good.
We used Rust Effects yesterday. The Dirty Down Rust, and like I shook the moss for so long that my arm started turning red and getting itchy.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Like
Yeah, those bottles. I don't know what the thing is made of, but the steel ball really gets stuck down there.
Yeah, it really does. So next up we have James, and James has many gaming pictures. Would you like to read out?
Accomplishment. What happens when you are a 40k fan and gamer? See first picture. What happens when you are a 40k fan and painter? You buy Space Marines to paint. See third picture. I have been slacking off my painting, but after playing so much Space Marine 2, I have been wanting to paint some Space Marines. Thinking I will paint one Dark Angel and other one Blood Angel. Feel free to private message me if you want a friend for Space Marine 2 operation. Oh, that's
nice.
So nice.
So yeah, it's I like these sorts of things where people just sort of go, look, this is what I'm doing, and this is how I'm trying to get over my hobby sort of
slump.
Yeah. And I think it's good because, I mean, we all have it. Like, there's no one who like paints and they're just like, yeah, I never have a problem ever. So I think that it's great, but it is what it is. So we will move on. Okay. So this one,
brother brings drink. Check it off your list, everybody.
Thank you very much, brother.
Thank you.
There you go. Drink opened on stream.
Can opened. Yeah,
there you go.
Another checkbox for the list.
So Warren, I'll just get you to comment on two things because there's an update on this pretty quickly, but
yeah,
I will. So this is the one that I wanted to get the comment on. Like, is it too disgusting or is it okay? The
nipple
the
cheese.
milk.
Okay.
Well, this one's more cheese than the other one. The other one's more milk.
I mean, I feel like most of the time I'm a big believer in less is more. I believe with Nurgle, more is more.
Yeah.
So I think you could do more gross.
Yeah. So on
more gross. Yeah.
On the other side, it's all creamy and it goes into the cracks and such and builds up. So on one side it's more cheesy and but we will comment on the other one because the update's like just not that far off.
The update of that one. Okay.
Yeah. There's only one post in between.
Oh, check this out. Charlie I'm also working on vest bits. I'm happy with the orange. Can't decide what to do with wings, so tinted metallics perhaps. Yes!
Well,
Do what we did.
we really like the color shift on them. Like, it doesn't come up as much in videos. I think
I took a picture. I took a video today in the sunlight of all the wings. I think it come up nicely. I have my phone here.
Okay, so yeah, I really like the color shift, but Warren, your thoughts?
I like it. I really like that green teal with the rusty orange color of the body. It's a really nice combo.
Classic movie combo.
For sure. There's a reason it works.
Yeah.
I like it so far. Obviously this is a whip, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I think there's lots of interesting shapes and forms and crevices to really bring out with some shadows and highlights and stuff. So I think he has a really, really, really good start.
Yeah, I'd 100% I'd agree. But time to get your fangs out, Warren, because it's time for the update. All right.
Yeah, so this is a showcase model, so we would really appreciate some in-depth feedback.
Yep, so here's the back, but we will get into some of the details. I'll just go through it and tell me if there's any spot where you would like us to stop.
Can you pause right here?
Yeah.
Okay. I really like what you did with the face coming out of the arm. That the texture in the face just looks really, really disgusting. That really does look like it's coming from the inside of his arm. Like that's just like meaty, fatty.
That's what I was going for.
Out.
Yeah, yep.
Oh, you nailed it. You nailed it on that. That looks great. And then the contrast of these like beautiful purple and pink tentacles coming out too. Just chef's kiss.
Thank you very much, sir. So the way that this was achieved was this was painted in a sort of Xandri dust / bone color, given some rough highlights, and then I used
for the blood god?
No. Is it called Iskander yellow? What's the
No, Iskander yellow.
What's the other Iandan yellow? The warm yellow.
Iskander, you have now a yellow named after you.
Yes. And then after I did that yellow, very thin coat to give it that more fatty inside look. You know how your arm tissue look. I'm not going to reference medical documents, but you know what I'm talking about, right, Warren?
Yes, I've had my arm cut open. I've seen my own fat, so I know what.
Yeah, it's not fun, is it? And then after that, to give it the appearance of, the blood, that's actually blood for the blood guard 1-to-1 with airbrush mix medium. So it's quite thin, and I just apply that over there.
So, one
sorry.
thing, as you were explaining that I kind of noticed, and it's a minor thing, but something I did notice. If you look at the top of the face, like where the eye is, and then you look at the bottom bit of skin hanging off toward the bottom of the mouth, the bottom looks, the lighter parts look a lot more toward the white side of things, whereas at the top it looks more yellow.
Mm-hmm.
So the top looks a lot more like meaty, fatty tissue, whereas the bottom almost kind of looks like
skin?
Pizza.
Oh, it's pizza? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I can see why you say that.
Like the cheese and the red sauce.
Right.
I don't know if that's because it's a more leaning white than the top, but
he can't see your
just
hand
something
up.
I noticed.
But you can.
So
It is glossy though. Once he added all these effects, it's actually a glossy. So when you see the white, it's actually a reflection from the light.
So
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
see. Yeah, here we go. That's also one of the reasons why it's darker there, is because you see this is shadowed.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I didn't want to give it too much highlights, whereas this actually gets a bit of light.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, we'll go back. Do you have any more commentary for this area?
Just want to say again, I love it.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, and this is more of me adding armpit hair.
Oh, okay.
So you'll see
What do you
here.
think of this armpit hair?
I'm not 100% in love with it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you're going to be doing with it, or?
No, I just sort of plan to have it very sort of stark and sticking out and that sort of thing. Because I think
Are you going to keep it the blonde color?
yeah, that was the plan. Do you think it shouldn't
Okay.
be the blonde color? Because you
I'm
know,
going to screenshot that picture, and then I'm going to play in Photoshop and see what it looked like with other colors.
sure. I'll just go like this. I'll just copy it and put it in the general so you can use it.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Rumble is asking where
Where's-
the Tarzan Nurgle is.
Oh yeah, so we were going to have a nurgling swinging off the armpit hair, but we
Nice.
figured that the strength of
Would
the
look
armpit
cold.
wasn't strong enough, and like it would just have like this guy like tapping against the paint job. But I did also try to add some much smaller hairs to the other nipple right here, just to add to the gross. But I wanted to ask, how do you think the toe fungus came up? Because this is dirty down moss put in here.
I was looking through the pictures yesterday, and the face under the arm and the toenails were probably the things I was most impressed with.
Well, yeah, and also how you were talking about those purple undershadows. So I did an overall oil wash, much like very close to the start, and then after that I painstakingly went through and did all of the purple creases, which took a while to get all of the purple shadowing in there. But he's pretty close now. We got some new pictures, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
He's not finished, but I got the head on him, and I'll just sort of show that. So the head and the hand aren't finished, and obviously he doesn't have his mouth yet. But this is how he's looking right now.
Hell yeah.
The maggots tumbling out, of course. But yeah, so just a bit of an update. Not finished yet, but very close.
Perhaps we can get a further discussion in after the.
Yeah, for
thingy
sure.
bob.
All right, so next up we've got Hazik.
Hazik. Stormcast Dragon all done. Just the rider is left. Let me know what base I should have.
Well, we'll throw to you once again, Warren, because you are the guest.
Organic things like dragons and animals are things I really struggle to paint myself because I think they involve so much texture, and I'm not really good at texturing. So I always just have an extra hats off to people that do animals and organic things and pull it off well. And I think this looks really well done. I like the colors that they use. Nothing clashes. Nothing really doesn't mix. I do think some of the details could be tightened up a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think overall, like the dragon itself looks really well done.
So
Maybe some shading in the scales to help make them pop a little bit more.
Yeah, so the thing I'd say is I think the actual armor on the dragon doesn't come out enough. So these bits right here, where he's got hardened carapace
Yeah.
rather than
Mhm.
just scales, I think they could have been brought out a lot more. I think that the wings contrasting to the rest of him, even though it is all just analogous, I think that's really spot on.
Yeah,
Because
the wings is
Mhm.
very well done.
yeah, because it feels like it's all part of the same creature, but quite separate. And the other part of it is, I think that this is really quite stand out, where he's done the Sigma face and his classic sort of black and red thing. But I don't know sort of how this guy is perched. Like, I don't know where that clear base goes.
Yeah.
Like, does it come from his mouth? Where does that sit? So I don't know if you're not going to see any of that work at all.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's what I worry about a lot when you're putting just a tremendous amount into something, because I think when you do that, you've always got to think to yourself, like, hey man, like, am I wasting my time here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really important. But other than that, I think it's looking good. Like, that's the only thing that I'd bring up. The scales here, and like, are you wasting your time here? That's it. What about you, Sunny? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, because I really I agree with you with the carapace, the hardened carapace around the leg and the arm. I didn't actually notice that until you pointed it out. I think that could be differentiated a bit more. I am feeling a bit of a shame with the under armor because it's such a beautiful
It is
piece.
beautiful. Yeah.
I do wish that he didn't make it black to red.
That's how the rest of his army looks.
Oh.
So that's why he chose that.
I just feel
We've seen those shields before by him.
Okay. It's just because it blends in with the rest of the dragon.
I understand.
That's my only thing. Like, if he made it like a black to steel or something, I wouldn't have. I feel like, okay, I know where is armor and where is dragon. But other than that, I think that's all that I have to say. Perhaps the scales could bring out a bit more depth with the scales. Like, I feel, you see, it feels a bit lost. I think a wash of some sort would help that. But I think other than that, that's all I have to say.
All right. Well, let us move on, and we will move on to. Oh, all right. Well, it's. I seem to have trouble reading the name. What? Larry.
Larry. Larry, please read. Post.
Yes. If you could, Warren.
Haven't done much this week. Still have the sads going on.
Still have this.
Yeah, and then you look at a model that
Like
looks like this. It's like, can you stop? Can you
It's like, I've got the sads. I'm better than you. It's like, okay, dude. All right, fine. Yep. Well, I didn't know that we were fighting, but apparently we are.
I want to start off by saying, like, when I saw this, I thought immediately of those camouflaged spiders that you find in flowers.
Oh,
You know, like the orchids.
Yep.
That looks like that.
It does look a bit like an orchid spider. So, one moment. I'm going to see if I can find a picture of. Is it called orchid spider?
So orchid is spelled ORCH.
Yep.
ID. Yeah. Okay. Just give that a shot. You're able to come up. Oh, check that out.
Is it this one?
Maybe. That's definitely the orchid, but is there a spider in there? I can't see. That's the thing.
Let's
There's a spider in there. I don't know.
I can't.
I don't.
Oh,
is that the
is it-
spider? Who knows?
Yeah,
It's very hard to tell with these
So
spiders.
yeah, it does look very much like an orchid spider because you take a look at some of them and like you wouldn't know you're looking at a spider right now. Here, give me
I can't
one.
even tell where it is.
Yeah, that's it. This is the spider.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like,
I know,
what
right?
is it even a spider? Or, like, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's that well camouflaged. But see how you've got the greens going into the purples? It does very much look
Feel
like that now.
Yeah, very cool way.
Like it's I wouldn't be able to I'm sure there's a German word for it, like beautiful destruction or something.
Beautiful destruction.
Or something like that, because you look at it and it is very pretty the way that you've done all of the highlights down here, and you can feel that level of grotesqueness with the greens here, but it does look disarmingly nice.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think
Like a carnivorous plant sort of thing.
Yeah, it does look a lot like a carnivorous plant. Are you going to do more Tyranids in this color scheme or just this one off?
Lauren, you still there?
Have we?
Yeah, I'm sorry. What's up?
Yeah. Did you hear what we said?
I heard some of it.
So
Sorry, I'm having trouble with my phone right now.
it's all good. It's all good. So we basically are asked, are you going to be doing more like this? More
I think of
Tyranids.
all the nids I've painted up so far, I think this is the one I've had the most fun doing. So I might duplicate this one a couple times.
Yeah. So when it comes to this, do you just have them as art pieces? Do you sell them? What do you do? Like, do you play any games?
I don't play games,
Yep.
and I don't generally sell stuff. I usually give it away, or it just goes up on my painted shelf.
I think unfortunately I'm going to show my age when you said give it away. All I heard was the Red Hot Chili Peppers after you said that. You know, the give it away, give it away, give it away now.
I don't know that song.
Yes, I think that proves my point. But I think we've said all we can for this piece.
Yeah.
So we will move on. All right.
Oh, what this? Another Larry.
This is a throwback, Larry. So we can't spend too much time on it, but it does look very nice.
Love the boots. The boots.
Yeah. So keep in mind, Warren, that this is a throwback, so we can't spend too long on it. But yeah, if you would like to give your commentary. Oh, what an angle.
Me?
No.
Oh, Larry.
Oh, sorry, Warren.
Yeah.
Warren became Larry again. It's happening again.
This was just a random piece I wasn't actually planning on doing, and just saw it, and I was like, all right, well, it spoke to me, so decided to do it. And I felt like it being a demon girl, it was a good excuse to do a non-traditional flesh color for the skin tone.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also wanted to try my hand at painting latex without using gloss coat to try to still get that shine.
So
but
there's
I wasn't able to, so it's
I don't know.
Yeah, that's painted.
I don't know, like that
latex effect. Yeah.
It seems very latex to me. Like that's what I thought.
Yeah, that's why I saw that and I was like, yes, that was yes. It's quite difficult to achieve the latex look in all the angles, and he's done that.
Yeah, it took a handful of retries.
Which is why I thought I was very impressed.
Is this a 3D print or an actual sculpt?
It's a 3D print.
Yeah. You know, I wouldn't be able to tell because there's no layer lines that I can see.
Yeah, no, I did not.
Maybe around here, but like it doesn't.
Do
It
you
doesn't.
do
Yeah.
you like sand it down before you start painting, or just go straight into?
So I usually have the excuse of I'm a painter, not a modeler. So that's why most of my prep work is crap because I don't do prep work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but every once in a while, I'll have a project that I really just want to take to that next level. So I'll take the time to do prep work and sand all the things and bathe
Mm-hmm.
it and all that good stuff. But there's a lot of times that I can't be bothered. I just want to paint.
Yeah. 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 All right. Well, we'll move on. So next up, Sunny was putting up the stream, and then we have John Gas. Gotta give it the gas.
I think Thien.
Oh, okay.
I just heard what was said about the Xenonids. There's a video on YouTube where someone did this. They did the matte varnish to stop the texture from flaking off over time.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's mostly dry brush, the cracks should be more prominent.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see about that. Saying, like the issue I have is, I just think when it comes to that, like do a matte varnish after maybe, but for me, I see no reason to not just prime the model first and then put the cracks on, because I think that it'd have such better grip, especially if you're going for like an enamel paint, where when you spray that on, it's just so much more biting. But I'm gonna show another picture of this, and then I will throw to our guest. Would you like to read out the comment before we go? No, you passed it again. Up, up, up. There you go. It's not much.
This one, right?
Yeah, and then
Why is it go up?
and then you can go to.
Been waiting for October to post this rocker I've been working on. Let me know what you think. Yeah. Go ahead. Larry.
I think that he has a good start to it so far. I think the squig looks a little muted.
So do you think he
But
needs to push the reds a bit more?
yeah, the reds definitely need some highlighting, and a little bit more saturation, I'd say, because it almost leans toward like I don't know, almost like uh, what's that color from Vallejo? Ship hole red or hole red? It's like a red brown almost.
No, I wouldn't know that one because I know they've got demon red. I don't know the other reds that they've got.
So I'm not sure one way or the other on the red, because I don't know that red, but the one thing that I did notice is that purple fade was beautiful both here and on his skull. But yeah, the red definitely could have been brought up a lot. You're not wrong.
Yeah, I agree also because the squigs are usually very colorful guys. I think he could push that a bit more. Anything else you'd like to add?
I really like the details on the hat. Those colors pop really nice.
Yeah, the hat and the guitar were the big standouts for me. Not so much the. I'm not a big guitar person, but the head, I guess, of the guitar, the neck and the head of the guitar weren't that interesting, but the body itself was very nice with the fade and everything.
Yeah.
I think that came up really well. But I think we've said about all we can on this one. I think that this could be worked on a bit more and like come up a bit more. I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. I just think that, like, since it's a special model, why not put that extra work into it?
Yeah.
All right. Next up we have
Oh,
Larry.
yes, the real Larry.
Yep.
The real Larry of WAYPN.
Alright.
Haven't felt like painting, so I made myself do a little something tonight. Still waiting for decals, so I did what I could do and added some dust to his feet for one. I like the dust effect.
I think, yeah, just as soon as this thing's base rimmed, I think it's done.
What are your thoughts, Warren?
I'm sorry, my audio's cutting out really bad. Can you guys just give me a minute?
Sure.
You're coming through fine, just so you know. Like you're,
Okay.
yeah, you're coming through just perfect. But, well, Sunny, would you like to comment on that while I see if I can hail the other one?
Just taking a look. I'm just wondering if it. I suppose I feel a bit bad to say this right now because it feels very finished. And I feel like maybe it's the lighting, I'm not sure, but the red of the armor, the highlighting did not come up as well. It looks quite similar to the base. It's as if it wasn't actually highlighted. So that's why I was a bit that was my only concern. Yeah, it just feels a little bit on the flat side. I thought a little bit more highlights here, but seems like it's pretty good actually. But yeah, I really liked the soil effects. Other than that, I don't think there's much I can add to this piece. I've never seen this before. Soil works, pigment colors. That's cool. What else can I say? Hey, is this Warren? Are you come back on?
Yeah.
How is it? Is it still bad?
No, it's better now.
Okay. Well, what are your thoughts on it? Because I'm thinking that perhaps the reds could use a bit more highlighting.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The reds all look kind of the same Z,
Yeah.
whether you're looking at the top or bottom. So I would agree that the reds could definitely um use a bit more. So it's one of those things like red, for me at least, red's a really hard color to highlight because it's so easy to start going orange or pink or where you
Yeah.
want it to go.
That
So I found that sometimes it's easier to get red to pop when you work the other way. You in your
Exactly.
shadow, working on
Exactly.
your highlights.
We've got a video on that. Well, I shouldn't say a video,
a
but a
short
short
of
on
how
that.
to highlight red. Yeah, we've made.
That you start
Okay.
with a desaturated color and go up to the full saturation, rather than
Mixing white or orange into
Right,
it.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel bad for saying it at this point because he's already so far into finishing the model, and I feel like saying something like add highlights at this stage might be too late.
I don't think like it needs highlights unless you're going to go for that heavy metal style. I understand why you guys would say it, but like Marines do my head in some of the times with just the way that they're designed, because they're really not designed that well, in my opinion. For the painter, right? It seems as if I don't know how to articulate it exactly, but when I look at them, I think to myself, oh, all right, I'm going to do my head in doing these because people are so used to the heavy metal standard that when you don't give them an heavy metal model, they're just like, oh, this looks like crap. And like you can put like 10 hours into something and it's like, dude, unless you're going to pay me like $500, you're not going to get box art level, you know?
Yeah.
For sure.
It takes a lot. Like I remember when I was doing our 3-color review,
Yep.
how long it took me to just do one marine to basic standard level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Right, so we've got another post from the real Larry.
Yep.
The real Larry says, for the other thing I did a little dry brushing highlight and added a bioluminescent glow to the face tentacle tips like he's talking to another, with the red at the end representing a forceful stop or negative or the like. Oh, very interesting. Probably going to add some magenta or something to the upper midsection where it shows some exposed flesh or something not clearly visible in these. Figure is a Migo. Okay. Supposed to look like he's got a yellowish light on him in the darkness while he whispers. Hashtag those who know. So, it's a very interesting model.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of a Scott Sigler book.
Oh.
But we will throw to Warren, the not Larry, and get his commentary.
So looking at it and his description of it, it definitely brings it to a different light, I guess, no pun intended. But looking at it as is without a description, it just looks like he's gonna paint up a yellow bug-looking guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then his description on him being cast in yellow light and while in the darkness, that adds a bit more to it. But it being one of those things like OSL, in my opinion, is one of those things that generally doesn't really make sense until the very end.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I can't really comment too much on it right now because it is basically just an entire OSL piece. It's not like an OSL element. The entire thing is OSL.
Yeah.
So I think first I need to see it more before I can really give any kind of commentary on it.
Yeah. Totally. So for me, I think that the OSL really works, but I think this is not its golden angle. I think maybe I don't think he's taken a good photo of its golden angle. So I think it would be like this, but maybe at 5 o'clock on this image.
Yeah, I was gonna say and pulled out a little bit.
Yeah, and tilted down a little as well. So not as much as here. Like this is too far. But so like this and on that angle, because I think that it looks really, really good. When you look from here, you sort of like, oh, you get it. Like when you go through each of the photos, you get a much better idea of how it is. But yeah, it feels like a very sort of horror thing to me, which is very sort of Larry. Larry's got a lot of horror. Yeah, he loves
his horror stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I still think that VHS one is one of my favorites. Like that's, I think, just perfect.
I think the execution of the lighting was well done.
Yeah.
With the black prime showing that, I don't know if it's just black prime, but the black on the other side showing that he was mostly in shadow and he's coming into the light. I will agree with Warren that, unless he told us that it was actually being lit by yellow light, I thought that this creature looks this color.
Yes.
And when he's coming into the light, this is what is revealed. Again, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It communicates the effect that he was in shadow and he's coming into the light.
Yeah, I'd agree with that too.
Yeah.
I think if he's in a diorama, it will come up a lot more, but until then, we won't see that.
That yellow light thing.
Yeah. All right. And yeah, I think that's it. So allow me a moment and I will bring up one of our works from the past so that people can take a look at things. All right, how about some Ogren? Yeah, here we go. maybe not that one. It's maybe. Here we go. These guys will be good, no doubt. We'll bring these guys up. We'll
Gone past.
have
That's
that.
what you want.
Oh
There
yeah.
you go.
All right. So we'll do what we have done last time. That's too much. Just go a little. There we go. All right. Let's take down the chat and we will end it off. All right. So Warren, is there anything that you'd like to talk about in the hobby which you think is not being talked about, or that you just like to talk about?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Have you guys ever done a video or a short or anything to cover like the Golden Demon or anything like that?
Well,
Oh, the latest Golden Demon.
we actually wrote up a post last night in response to what Zumakito Miniatures said. But unfortunately the YouTube demon ate the post twice as I was writing it, and after that I just walked
Gave
away.
up, yeah.
Because I'm just like,
For
no,
sure.
I'm gonna get angry. But so yeah, that's what I'll talk about now. So for me, when it comes to competitions, here is the thing that you guys have to remember: they're unfair. People will judge on criteria that you have not necessarily thought of, and unless you get that feedback, just understand that if you're entering a competition, you might be wasting your time, right? So enter with that mindset. That's how you have to enter. And the second thing that you have to remember is this: people are not rational beings, they are rationalizing beings. That means that they won't make logical decisions. They will make decisions and then make up reasons for why they made those decisions. Right? And when it comes to art, look, I know that I am not in the majority here, but there is objectively good art. There is times where people make great things, and I can objectively say that there are certain pieces that I have done which are objectively better than others. And it's the same for other people's. So you can get better at art. Just understand that if you're going into a competition like this, you might be setting yourself up for a fall. You've got to be in the right headspace if you want to enter one of these competitions. All right? You've got to be good first before you go into these things. Because if you're not, it will make you question a lot. I think that Zumakito was... I wouldn't say that he was robbed. I'd say that his soul was scarred by that event, because I look at that, he said he spent 800 hours, and I believe him. I 100% believe him. That's 100 work days. 800 hours.
Yeah, that's crazy.
If you're going to put that much time into a competition, you need to understand that you might get hurt. And I do think that it was unfair of them to not even consider him. And I do think that unfortunately there are people out there who, once they know who you are, and we've experienced this before too, just like he has, it's not the fact that your painting's no good, it's the fact that people don't like you.
Yeah, sometimes that is the case.
And it's unfortunate, but just remember, guys, when it comes to that, don't beat yourself up too much. Come in with a healthy mindset and you will leave better off. And I think that's all we have to say on that. Unless you would like to add anything, Lauren?
I think you kind of nailed it on that. Especially with the Golden Demon specifically.
Yeah.
I've never participated. I've only been to one show that had a Golden Demon, but I never participated. But from what I've heard is it's they don't give feedback.
They don't.
And I feel like
No.
that's probably the worst part about that is it's one thing to go and enter into a show and you know that there's no chance you're gonna win.
Yeah.
Like I think you should still enter and take that chance if you're gonna be in a competition where the judges are gonna give you feedback.
Yes. Yes.
I get it. You know, there was 1,000 entries at this last Golden Demon and only 3 judges, and 2 of them weren't even artists. They were just, I'm pretty sure, like GW marketing people.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can't expect one artist to give 1,000 people feedback. Like that's kind of insane. But that's just again that falls on GW for poor planning. Personally, I don't think you should have a competition without people being able to get feedback from the people that judge them. That's just kind of crazy to me.
Yeah. And also,
So
I think that with that, because you brought that up, I'll also bring up another thing. It seemed as if there was an element of, because Treverian brought this up, and I was very glad that Treverian defended the Ultramarine guy. Did you see that particular post? So particular entry, yeah. So it was very well done, but a lot of people were very upset with it because it just essentially looked like GW box art. And this is what I was talking about with the healthy mindset. You, like, because you said it was 2 marketing people, they probably chose that based off that completely. You know,
Yeah.
oh, absolutely.
and it's not because it, and like I feel like that guy painted a very, very beautiful model. And I'm so glad that Treverian defended him, because I think every Golden Demon year I see, like I think Miniac really hit the nail on the head one time when he said, this is why people don't enter these competitions. Like, I'm not sure whether it was a Nurgle entry or something else, where there was like this very rusted, battle damaged dreadnought, and I think somebody who was a high level painter said, "You do understand that this competition is for experts, right? I don't know why this was here." And just, this is what I mean. You've got to come in with a healthy mindset. Sorry, Rumble Roo said the most hilarious thing ever. He said, GW marketing person, this looks like the thing we sell. Gold!
Yeah. I mean, I've joined a fair bit of art competitions in my youth. And I think I've slowly sort of gotten the sense of like how certain competitions run. So some of them are based off of audience votes, which I always try to avoid audience vote competitions because they're always rigged. You can get like a bajillion family members to vote and then you win. And I always try to go for only they explicitly judges. Judges are the one that are judging it. And then you've got competitions where it's by a company or something, right? And so they're going to be biased towards things that look like their stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is basically what has happened with the Golden Demon. In fact, when we watched Zumikito's miniature videos, and he said, there is a bias to the heavy metal style.
Yeah.
I was not surprised, because this was like, this is just one of those competitions where they're biased towards using the competition as a marketing opportunity.
Yes, I would agree.
So a lot of the times that is the case with competitions run by companies and institutions. So I do think there is another side of this, that based on everything that we have talked about in other videos about GW, I think that because the Golden Demon Awards have sort of they've built up this whole prestige around it, they just have to make it that much harder to get a prize. So they make things unnecessarily hard, and to give that perception of prestige. And then you've got these poor artists who are working their butts off, and they don't get anything, just so they can prove how hard it is to get a golden demon. And I feel that's basically what's happened here, and I think that's not good. Objective showcase of true talent, which is what it should be about.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. So I think we've said all that we can on this, and I think hopefully that will be healthy for people, and I hope everybody understands where we're coming from, and that we're not coming from a place of malice. So what I will say to everybody is, thank you so much for joining us for our rant, and we will see you later. And as always, keep those brushes wet. Bye-bye.